Good morning, natural gas. It's Monday, March the 16th, 2026. I'm Tim Beggins, president of Elk Trading Company, and this is the top news for natural gas. Number one, in the US, the weather models are turning colder, then warmer, and maybe even colder again. Number two, for the Europeans, the Netherlands is now warning of gas shortages. They're down to 8% of storage. Number three, the EU LNG buyers are contracting all of the Russian YAML gas, that's LNG, before the ban. And number four, the US and Canadian LNG projects are ramping up and expanding while Mexico LNG is faltering. Let's turn to the spot. April natural gas contract. We're currently trading at 3.1180, down 1.3 cents or 0.42%. And as you can see here, the 13 and 48 period exponential moving averages, we're stuck. The RSI is also trending sideways. So we're not going anywhere fast. Why not? Well, we've got a mixed bag of weather. We've got a storage report later this week. Expectations, first one, plus 24. That's the most bearish storage report in the last 5 years. And we've got some maintenance going on here for LNG facility, which is Sabine Pass. So let's take a look at what else is going on internationally. Well, the Strait of Hormuz, nowhere. It's just going nowhere fast. Everything is just tied down in these big bubbles here around Qatar, around Dubai, and of course around Oman. It is because they are still waiting for safe passage through the straits. It's still a war zone. And what else is going on? Well, let's take a look here. This is Creole Trail. This is the pipeline that feeds Sabine Pass. And as you can see here, it's kind of tight here on the wording, but we've got pigging going on here at the compressor station. And that is from the 17th, that's tomorrow, St. Patrick's Day, all the way through the 19th. Again, 16 hours for tomorrow, 3 hours after that, but it is going to affect 830,000 MMBTUs. That is the 24-hour total. So because it's only 19 hours, it's much less, but we do have some maintenance. It's probably putting a damper on cash prices. And let's take a look at the hourly chart. Again, we're trading 311 even right now, and we are between the first pivot, which is 318.60, first support, which is 305.40. The RSI is trying to turn upward at this stage. So we'll look to see if this can waffle back into positive territory by the end of the day. But we'll see if this is going to move anywhere fast. It doesn't look like it. How about the Jan versus the April spread? And this is currently trading flat on the day. It's 2.049. That is up nothing. Unfortunately, the RSI is trending sideways here. So what's going on? Well, there's still a premium on winter contracts because if this war continues and the longer Qatar is down, which is 20% of the world's LNG supply, that means there is a bid underneath US natural gas prices for winter. Let's take a look at the April through October strip. Right now, we're down actually 2.5 cents down to 3.38. We're down 0.71%. The RSI looks like it's trying to head lower at this time. Let's take a look at the forecast. And as you can see right now, this is colder weather just surging into the midsection of the United States and heading straight southward into places like Texas, which woke up this morning 30 degrees below where we were yesterday. So let's take a look at the forecast as we move through the period here. Warmer temperatures move in. And as you can see, we start getting 90s here in the desert Southwest in Phoenix, 90s in West Texas, 80s all the way up the coast and possibly as far north as New Jersey. And as you see, the weather comes back in again, the colder weather into the northeast, all the while surging warmth into the southwest. So we've got really a tale of two cities, warm in the south and cold in the northeast. And as you can see here into the forecast through the 24th, continues to get cold. We do get some more cold weather as it comes into the western region, which is pushing out some of that warmth for a few days. And as you can see here, it just continues to amble through the forecast period. Cooler temperatures continue to push in through the Midwest, down over into the Mid-Atlantic and New England states, while warm temperatures continue to dominate the South. And here again, this is at the end of the forecast period. This is April the 1st. Cooler temperatures across the Rockies and Pacific Northwest, cooler temperatures across the Great Lakes all the way over to the mid-Atlantic states, and warmth in Texas. Let's take a look at Europe. And it starts out fairly mild, but as we get through the forecast period here, we continue to see that we get bouts of cooler weather coming in off the Atlantic. And then at the very end of the forecast period, it starts getting colder and colder as we get into the end of the month, 28th, all the way through the 30th. It is cool across Spain, France, Germany, and the Isles. How about storage across the EU? Well, the Netherlands, 8%, and they're warning of gas shortages potentially ahead. Remember, the Netherlands has one of the largest gas fields in Europe, Groningen. But what happened? It started causing earthquakes as they withdrew the gas from the ground. The ground started shifting, so they shut it down. And now they're stuck in a situation where they've got very little gas in tank, and they've got a really, really big problem ahead. How about in Asia? Well, cooler temperatures there right now and across some of the parts of the eastern provinces of China, and cooler temperatures start waffling in a little bit here, but generally speaking, it's mild overall throughout the forecast period. There looks like there might be some cooler temperatures as we get to March the 30th. How about Golden Pass? It's up to 320,000 MMBTUs. It's finally starting to stabilize and looks like it's about to take that next step here, which is to ramp up to full capacity at train 1. It will take time, but it looks like it's getting there quickly. Let's take a look at the U.S. nuclear fleet. We're currently right now at 14.9 gigawatts that are offline. This is a new 5-year high. And as you can see here, we do continue to trend this way to the end of the month, potentially April the 11th or 12th. And then we'll start ramping down as we get ready for summer. How about the heat index, the heat risk here, mostly out west from California, Arizona, California, all the way up to Oregon. As we get through the forecast period, this extends further and further east. And as you can see here, this is before the cooler weather starts to show up. And it's just minor heat risk here, starting to be more moderate in the desert southwest and parts of Texas. And then it starts to fade here as we get into the 22nd. That's cooler temperatures coming in. How about the Pacific Northwest? Well, this is where we look at hydro at this time of year because we get the spring runoff. And it's been quite light for snowpack. But looking at Washington State, this is the Grand Coulee Dam up on the Columbia system in Washington. It's at 112% of its average. So that's a good thing. All the way down here on the Columbia system as well, the Dallas dam here is at 99% of average. So for the Pacific Northwest, they've got enough water here, so they'll have plenty of hydro for the summer. Let's take a look at ERCOT. And here's an interesting picture going on tomorrow. The combined wind and solar capacity is 55,545 megawatts. But here's the problem. Right in the next bar over here, you can see the system-wide demand tomorrow at 4 o'clock is only 48,000 megawatts. So renewables can, in theory, take up 100% of the demand in ERCOT tomorrow at 4 p.m. That won't happen, of course, but as you can see, we're in that period where natural gas is losing out to renewables. How about the stocks? Well, these are the stocks in the oil and gas E&P sector. These are stocks between $2 and $10 billion and have a high short float, over 10%. And the winner so far today, CRGY, up 1.63%. We've got some profit taking in some of the other stocks, the oily stocks like Murphy, down 1.68. Right behind me, CNX is up just 0.4%. So recapping again here for the April natural gas contract, we're currently trading at 3.108, 310 and 8 ticks, down 2.2 cents or 0.7%. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.